Hey, welcome back. I'm Tina, and this is Chicken Insight Support Podcast, where we help you raise strong, healthy backyard flocks with confidence.
Hi, I'm Nikki.
Today, we're talking about something that trips a lot of people up, what you should actually have ready before your chicks even arrive, especially mail order chicks, because that setup is a little different.
Yeah, this is one of those things where if you get it right up front, everything goes smoother. If not, you're playing catch up right away.
All right, let's get into it. What does a brooder actually need to be ready before chicks arrive, especially for shipped birds?
So the biggest thing is it needs to be fully set up and running before the box shows up. Not partially ready, not I'll finish it when they get here. You need your container, bedding, heat source, feed, and water all in place. And more importantly, the temperature needs to be stable. Mail order chicks are coming in after a couple days of transits. They're cold, they're stressed, and they've lost some body weight. So your brooder isn't just a space. It's basically their recovery environment for the first few hours.
Yeah, and I think that people underestimate that part. They treat it like it's setting up a box, not like it's setting up a controlled environment.
Right, and this actually lines up with our brooder setup checklist blog. It walks through exactly what should be ready before delivery day.
Exactly.
So why are the first 8 hours such a big deal with mail order chicks?
Yeah, this is probably the most important window. When those chicks arrive, their body temperature is lower than it should be. A healthy chick is around 104 degrees, but after shipping, they're coming at far below that. So the brooder has to do two things right away. Warm up the air and help bring their body temperature back up. That's why you want the brooder sitting at around 100 to 105 degrees before you even open that box. Not after, but before. If they go into a cold brooder or an unstable brooder, even for the first hour, it can slow them down or set them back for days.
Exactly. So it's not just comfort. It's more about recovery.
Let's talk heat source. Heat lamp versus heat plate. What should people actually use for shipped chicks?
And this is where we actually get into a lot of debate with customers about, because they might say something like, oh, well, I've used heat plates for my chicks the first few times I've had them and it worked out great. But then, this time it didn't. But you have to keep in mind what may have worked then may not have worked this time, because you have to keep in mind that each hatch of chicks are different and their needs might be different. Also, new care information gets updated frequently, so all that information changes. Heat plates are great in certain setups, but not for the first few days with mail order chicks.
Absolutely. That's a big distinction. It's not just that heat plates are bad, but they are just not right for that first stage.
Right. And a heat plate only warms that area directly under it. That works for chicks that haven't gone through shipping. But mail order chicks need that ambient heat, meaning the whole brooder needs to be warm. That's what heat lamp does. So for at least the first week, a heat lamp is the better option. After that, once they've recovered and stabilized, then you can transition if you want.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. What are the most common mistakes people make in that first week?
Yeah, there's a few that show up over and over. First is not preheating that brooder up ahead of time. People often wait until the chicks arrive and then they turn on the lamp and that's already too late. What you want to do is test that thing out before they even head out. You want to make sure, that you know where that lamp needs to be for that, especially that initial 8 hours of 100 to 100. That's so important. And then also go further and make sure that you know where to raise it to bring that down to like the 9,500 degrees that you would put in after that first 8 hours. So testing that out before the chicks even ship to you is so crucial, so that they're not riding that wave with you, because they've already been through so much and you don't need to put them through further issues. And then the second would be the wrong bedding. Things like cedar, sawdust, hay, things like that actually cause real issues. Pine shavings are the most safe option. So the third is giving cold water. After shipping, chicks need warm water around 90 to 105 degrees. not just straight from the tap and it be chilly. Room temperature even is just a little too chilly. You want them to warm up from the inside out as well. So giving them nice warm water is really, really beneficial too in that first 8 hours. And probably the big one is the brooder size. People go way too big too early, which makes it harder to maintain temperature and harder for the chicks to find food and water. Make sure that that food and water are close to the heat source, but not right under it, and off to the side so that the chicks can run around to that cooler area, because of course you need that little bit of a cooler area aside from the heat lamp part so that they can start to self-regulate.
Exactly. And it's interesting, most of these aren't complicated mistakes. It's just missing small details that matter early.
Yeah, exactly. It's the simple stuff, but it has big impact in the first few days.
Yeah, so really the takeaway here is preparation. If your brooder is fully ready before the chicks arrive, you avoid most of the early problems.
Take a few minutes before delivery day and walk through your setup. Check your heat, check your water, check your space. Is it working?
All right, thanks for listening. We'll see you in the next episode.
See you guys.